What's up guys, welcome back my YouTube channel. I will telling about the 1983 United States quarter dollar is a fascinating coin that many collectors love to study because of its unique background, unexpected scarcity in high grades, and the important place it holds in modern American coinage history. This coin was minted during a period when the United States Mint was still adjusting to the major changes introduced in the mid-1960s, especially the switch from 90% silver coins to the copper-nickel-clad coins we use today. Even though the 1983 quarter is a common coin in circulation, its story makes it far more interesting than many people realize. The obverse of the 1983 quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This design was created in 1932 by sculptor John Flanagan to honor the 200th birthday of Washington and has remained one of the most iconic images in American coinage. Above Washington's head is the word "Liberty," an important reminder of the values on which the United States was founded. To the left of the portrait is the phrase, "In God We Trust," and below the image is the year 1983. These details have remained consistent over the decades, making the Washington quarter easily recognizable. The reverse of the 1983 quarter features the classic eagle design, also created by John Flanagan. The eagle is shown perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, symbolizing America's strength and desire for peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions, "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar." This design remained in use until 1998, when the 50-state quarters program began and changed the reverse designs each year. The reason the 1983 quarter is especially interesting to collectors is because of a shortage of mint sets that year. In 1982 and 1983, the U.S. Mint did not produce official uncirculated mint sets, which meant very few high-quality examples of the coin were preserved. Most 1983 quarters entered everyday circulation, where they quickly became worn. As a result, finding a sharp, clean, and uncirculated 1983 quarter today can be surprisingly difficult. This rarity in top condition is what gives the coin additional value. In circulated condition, the 1983 quarter is usually worth only its face value of 25 cents. However, coins in excellent uncirculated condition can be worth much more. A bright, lustrous 1983 quarter with strong details can sell for a few dollars to several $100s depending on its grading. Coins graded extremely high by professional grading services, such as MS-67 or MS-68, are considered very rare and valuable. Some of these top-quality coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors also look for interesting varieties and errors. Among these are off-center strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchets, all of which can increase the value significantly. Even though these errors are rare, they make the hunt for a perfect 1983 quarter exciting for collectors around the world. The 1983 United States quarter dollar may seem like an ordinary everyday coin, but its history, scarcity in high grade, and connection to an important era of American coinage make it a fascinating addition to any collection. Next coin. The 1986 United States quarter dollar is one of the most familiar and widely circulated coins in modern American history. Struck by the United States Mint as part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, this coin reflects both the nation's history and the everyday life of millions of Americans. Even though it is a common circulation coin, collectors still appreciate its story, its design, and its value in today's numismatic market. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan and features a right-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse. This design continued for decades, including on the 1986 issue. On the obverse of the 1986 quarter, you will find the portrait of George Washington, along with the inscriptions, "Liberty," above his head and "In God We Trust," to the left. The year, 1986, appears at the bottom. Depending on where the coin was minted, you may also find a mint mark. Coins with a P were minted in Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins specifically for collectors, while the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for general circulation. The reverse of the coin continues the classic American eagle design. This reverse art shows a detailed eagle with its wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation. Below the arrows is an olive branch, representing peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and quarter dollar at the bottom, with E pluribus unum placed above the eagle's head. In 1986, millions of these quarters entered circulation. Because the mintage numbers were high and the coins were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, most circulated examples are considered common. That means the typical 1986 quarter that you might find in pocket change has only face value, which is 25 cents. However, collectors always look for special qualities. Uncirculated coins from 1986, especially those with sharp details and no wear, can hold a small premium. Mint state examples graded MS 65 or higher may range from $1 to a few dollars, depending on condition and mint mark. The San Francisco proof version, which features a mirror-like surface, can also be worth a few dollars when sold individually. Errors are another area of interest. A 1986 quarter with a striking error, off-center strike, double die, or clipped planchet can be much more valuable. These rare pieces can bring prices from $20 to several $100s depending on the severity and rarity of the error. Overall, the 1986 Washington quarter dollar is a beloved piece of American currency. It represents the continuity of a historical design that lasted for more than 65 years. While most 1986 quarters are common in value, pristine and collectible examples continue to attract coin enthusiasts today. For many collectors, it remains a simple but meaningful reminder of America's numismatic history. Next coin. The 1995 quarter dollar from the United States of America is a coin that many people have handled countless times, yet very few know its history, design meaning, or collectible value. This coin belongs to the long-running Washington quarter series, a design that first appeared in 1932 and continued until the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. The 1995 quarter stands near the end of the classic Washington design era, making it an interesting coin for collectors and history lovers. The obverse, or front side, of the 1995 quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The portrait was created by sculptor John Flanagan and has appeared on the quarter for decades. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, a reminder of the American value of freedom. To the left of his portrait is the inscription, "In God We Trust." At the bottom of the coin, you can find the year 1995, which marks the year of minting. Depending on where the coin was struck, a small mint mark may appear on the obverse. The letter P represents the Philadelphia Mint, D represents Denver, and S represents the San Francisco Mint. Circulation coins generally come from Philadelphia and Denver, while San Francisco mostly produces proof coins. On the reverse of the coin, you will find the classic eagle design, which was used for many years on the Washington quarter. The eagle is shown standing proudly with its wings spread wide, symbolizing strength, readiness, and national pride. Above the eagle is the inscription, United States of America, while below it appears the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. At the bottom of the coin is the denomination, quarter dollar. This design is one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage history. In terms of composition, the 1995 quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad mixture. The outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the inner core is pure copper. This combination gives the coin its silver color while keeping production cost low. The coin weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Like most modern U.S. coins, it has a reeded or grooved edge. Many people wonder about the value of the 1995 quarter. In general, most circulated 1995 quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents. Millions were produced, making them very common. However, collectors pay extra for coins in excellent condition. A coin in uncirculated, mint state condition can be worth anywhere from $1 to a few dollars, depending on its grade. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, especially those with deep cameo contrast, can be worth more, sometimes between $5 and $15. Coins with errors, such as off-center strikes, doubling, or missing lettering, may also carry additional value depending on rarity. The 1995 quarter may seem like an ordinary coin, but it represents an important chapter in American coinage. It was one of the last years before the state quarters program dramatically changed U.S. coin collecting. Today, this coin remains a small but meaningful piece of United States history, reminding us of leadership, freedom, and the enduring symbols of the nation. Next coin. The 1980 United States quarter dollar is one of the most recognizable modern coins in American currency, carrying the historic image of George Washington and the powerful symbol of American liberty. This coin belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which first began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1980, the Washington Quarter had already become a permanent part of American everyday life, passing through the hands of millions across the country. Although it was made for simple daily transactions, today it also holds interest for collectors because of its history, design, and small varieties in condition and mint marks. The 1980 quarter features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse side. This portrait was designed by John Flanagan and has been used for decades, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage. Above Washington's head is the word "Liberty," a reminder of the nation's founding principles. To the left of his portrait is the motto, "In God We Trust," and at the bottom is the year of minting, 1980. Depending on where it was produced, the coin may carry a mint mark. For 1980, quarters were struck at 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, which used no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S. For proof coins, the reverse side shows the traditional heraldic eagle designed by Flanagan, standing proudly with outstretched wings. Above the eagle is "United States of America," along with the national motto "E Pluribus Unum." At the bottom is the denomination, quarter dollar. This imagery represents the nation's strength and unity, making the 1980 quarter not just a piece of currency but a small symbol of American identity. In terms of composition, the 1980 quarter is made from a copper-nickel clad, which replaced the earlier 90% silver quarters in 1965. The clad design features a copper core with outer layers of nickel, giving the coin its silver-like appearance. In 1980, the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, making them common in general circulation. Because of this, most circulated 1980 quarters have only modest value above face value, but uncirculated or proof versions can attract much more attention from collectors. The value of a 1980 quarter depends heavily on its condition and mint mark. Circulated coins that show wear usually remain worth around their face value of 25 cents. However, coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 65 or higher, can be worth more. A 1980 D Denver Mint quarter in high grade may sell for a few dollars, while an exceptionally preserved 1980 P Philadelphia quarter could be valued even higher. The proof 1980 S version, made with a mirror-like finish for collectors, generally carries the greatest value, often a few dollars or more depending on condition. Collectors also look for rare errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or missing clad layers. These unusual mistakes can make a 1980 quarter far more valuable than normal examples. Today, the 1980 Washington quarter remains a popular collectible because it blends modern history, classic design, and wide availability. It is a coin that connects everyday life with America's deeper story of liberty and national pride. Next coin. The 1970 United States quarter dollar is a fascinating coin that captures the story of America during a time of cultural change, economic transition, and evolving coinage technology. Featuring the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse, this coin continues to attract interest from collectors around the world. Although it is a common circulation coin, its background, mint variations, and error types make it an intriguing piece to explore. The Washington Quarter series has been a part of American coinage since 1932. It was originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1970, the design had already been in circulation for nearly 4 decades and had become one of the most recognized coins in the United States. The obverse displays the profile of George Washington along with the inscriptions, "Liberty," at the top, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the year 1970 below the portrait. The reverse shows a powerful heraldic eagle spread across the center, clutching arrows and framed by olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. One important detail about the 1970 quarter is its composition. Prior to 1965, American quarters were made of 90% silver. However, silver shortages and rising metal prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the composition. By 1970, quarters were no longer silver, instead, they were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. This makes the 1970 quarter more common and less valuable in terms of metal content, but certain rare examples still hold significant value due to mint marks and errors. The 1970 quarter was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. The Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for circulation and are generally common, even today. However, the San Francisco coins were struck as proof coins for collectors. These proof coins have mirror-like surfaces and sharper details, making them more desirable and valuable. In circulated condition, most 1970 quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with strong luster and no signs of wear, can be worth between $1 and $15 depending on the grade. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint usually range from $3 to $10, but their value can increase if the coin is certified in high grade. The most exciting part of the 1970 quarter story is the existence of rare errors. A legendary example is the 1970 S-proof quarter struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter. This dramatic mint error sold for tens of thousands of dollars and remains one of the most famous modern error coins. Although such a coin is extremely rare, it highlights the potential hidden value collectors look for. For everyday collectors, the 1970 quarter is a reminder of America's evolving coinage history. Though common in circulation, high-grade examples and special errors make it a topic worth exploring. Whether found in pocket change or kept in a coin collection, the 1970 quarter represents an important chapter in the long-running Washington Quarter series. Okay, goodbye guys.